Hey everyone, let's see the overview of Xray today. Xray is basically a test management application which has been integrated with Jira, and by that integration, it has enhanced uh, the Jira features by managing test processes, test planning, and test execution. Although I'll be discussing these terms in detailed manner in further videos, but let's see an overview perspective of these terms. Test planning. Usually in the companies, we do not just start testing by going to the application and clicking and testing every features or functionalities of it. Firstly, we'll plan these tests, meaning we'll mention what all features and functionalities we would cover in this release, and these all functionalities will be tested by whom, which tester, and after testing it out, this will be reviewed by which persons, such as product owners or the managers for it. And also we'll mention the timelines for it. So these all things would be mentioned in the test planning. Test execution. In test execution, we'll actually execute the test cases and see what all test cases have been passed, failed, and what have been blocked. The features and functions of Xray are: first is test management. Xray allow users to create and manage test plan, test execution, test sets, and test cases within Jira. I've already discussed test plan, and which covers the functionalities that would be tested out. The person who would be testing it is the reviewer and the timelines. Test cases. Test cases are basically testing for a functionality. Let's suppose there's a next button, and by clicking on the next button, the user will be navigating to the next page. So this thing would be mentioned in a test case. Test sets. I'll give you an example to so that we can understand what a test set means. So let's suppose there are five next button in a whole application. So we'll put all those ne- test cases which belongs to that next button in a test set. Why do we do that? What is the benefit for that? The benefit is, if suppose in the fourth page there is a next button which is not working well, which is not navigating to the next page. We'll go back to the test set and test all the other next button. This will help in saving time. Otherwise, we need to search every next button test cases manually. And there might be chances that we might miss one of the next button, testing next button. So this test set will help us in saving time and improve our accuracy as well. Test executions, as we have discussed that in the test execution, the time would be recorded at how much time has been spent to test all these test cases, and along with that we'll get the status of the test, whether which all test cases have been passed, failed, blocked, and others about their other statuses. Next functions is traceability. Xray provides end-to-end traceability by linking requirements to test cases and defects. This helps ensure that all requirements are covered by test and that any defect found during testing are traced back to the relevant requirements. It means that in an application, user stories or the requirements would have been written for that application. In order to make that application, the developer would have read these and made up the application. And the tester would have been creating those test cases. Although the linkage of that user stories, that test cases is called traceability. So all the user stories or the requirements should be mapped to the particular test cases. This will help us in getting know that all the requirements have been tested or not. First thing. And if suppose we found a defect, we executed a test case and we found a defect, then we should, it is a best practice to go to the user story and check whether that particular functionality has been mentioned properly or what does that functionality do, so that we are sure that this is an defect. So this traceability help us in doing all these things. Next feature is reporting and metrics. Xray offer various reporting and dashboard feature to track testing progress, coverage, and quality metrics. Customizable reports and gadgets can be added to Jira dashboard to visualize testing data. One of the um, visualization, as we can see on the right side, where we can see that the test cases which have been passed are 52.2 percentage, to do are 4.3 percentage, executing are 8.7, and other statuses. We can create such status as well. So the thing is, this visualization help us in getting the status of the testing well, and we'll get to know that whether we need to increase our testing speed or not, or whether we are in line with what uh, timelines that we have given us. And these visualizations are helpful to show to the higher management or the managers our status for testing. So we will create such visualizations in and reports that would be done using the X-ray only. And this could be for the coverage, as you have seen that for the traceability, um, all coverage meaning that all the user stories have been linked to the test cases or not. So the coverage percentage would show that suppose 80% of the user stories have been linked to the test cases and 20% are still remaining. So such visualizations are present, and we'll use such visualizations um, to know the statuses in a well manner. Next important function is automation integration. Xray support integration with various test automation frameworks and continuous integration, continuous deployment tools. This enables automated test execution and seamless integration with development pipelines. The integration of Xray is great. It can be integrated, as we can see that it can be integrated to CI/CD pipelines. So these pipelines would run when an application is being run, and will get and this pipeline will automatically, if it is integrated with Xray, will test all the test cases, and will show us the results as well. So that's all regarding the overview of Xray.